This video contains real events surrounding a high-profile criminal case and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. While elements of this narrative are fictional for storytelling effect, the core facts remain true. All individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This content is for informational and documentary purposes only. There are dinners, and then there are Last Suppers. This was never meant to be either. This was meant to be perfect. The night was warm, the table was set, the candlelight danced across polished forks. I'd never been more ready. My name is Erin Patterson, widow in waiting, orphan maker, chef of the damned. Simon, he left. He said he needed space. I needed silence. He took his love, his name, and left his family behind. Those smirking relics of his bloodline who came tonight to dine. But I still had my apron though. And of course, I still had Anita. They, or you can call her Amanita Phalloides, but I call her Anita. My little pantry priestess, the voice that visits me when the wine runs dry. Darling, she hisses from the dark. You're not the victim. You're the chef. Now sharpen that knife. Guests, they arrived on cue. Their shoes damp from the dew, manners laced in honey, and, of course, ever-present judgment. Gail with her pity and powder, Dawn ever condescending, and Heather the hymn hummer. And then there's Ian, the holiest of the hypocrites. They're actually Simon's people. They raised the man who left me. This was his tribe, and they were here in my temple, drinking my wine, feasting at my altar. Of course, I served beef Wellington, golden, butter-layered, the duxelle. And just imagine, duxelle. Do they know how to pronounce that? It's French. Anyway, I spread it evenly for the heathens. A paste made of garlic and herbs. And let's not forget my little friend Anita. You've outdone yourself, said Heather. Yes. Yes, I had. Anita, she purred. Just wait until dessert. You see, Anita is more than a whisper. She's a compound, a miracle, a reckoning. Death-capped mushrooms contain amatoxins, small but mighty. They silence a body at its root, stopping the engine that drives human life. In Victoria, they grow unnoticed, like grief, like rage. I learned their science, their dosage, their stealth. I dehydrated them until they were light as parchment. I wept once, and then I kept going. It wasn't murder. It was recalibration. Anita reminded me, they dined while you suffered. Let them digest justice. They bite, they swallowed, they smiled. Until the groaning began, until Gail actually began clutching her side, until Dawn lurched toward the toilet. Must be the wine, Ian laughed. Oh my goodness, I fetched towels. I made tea. In the mirror above the sink, I looked perfect. As pathetic as I tried to look, it just didn't help. I just was not a victim, no matter how I tilted my head or how soft I made my voice. But in their eyes, a storm was rising. I accused myself and snickered behind the door. Anita danced between my ribs. "Let them vomit out the lies," she whispered. "Let the pain cleanse them. How dare they vomit at your table? They shan't be given any dessert for their petulance." Of course, I had to call the ambulance. And then I had to play cry and just pretend to be concerned. I even told that police guy that I'm sick too. Like, seriously. It was an accident. The mushrooms came from the market. But the truth isn't always cooked through. They found my dehydrator in my freaking notes. They called me a liar, a witch, a widowmaker. So? But I was just a hostess, a wife scorned, a cook craving gratitude. Anita, she kissed my temple. She said, "They believed you for years. Why stop now?" The trial was theater. 11 weeks of finger-pointing, floral blouses, and gut-wrenching testimonies, all set in Leongatha, Victoria, my personal Eden-turned-courtroom inferno. They convicted me. 3 dead, 1 gasping, 1 cook condemned. They sentenced me to life. For real? In my mind, I stood in that kitchen again, pristine and holy. "Would you like seconds?" I ask the jury in my dreams. Anita always answers. They couldn't stomach the truth. People, they say I showed no remorse. But honestly, guys, what is remorse to a woman uninvited to her own life? I served love with pastry crust. I offered them a way to remember me. They chose to remember my plate instead. Now I sit behind bars, but Anita visits me. She strokes my hair, she plans new menus. And in the silence of my cell, I wonder, if this was all a dinner party, who was really the guest? Simon. Simon never showed up. He never answered my final invitation. Whew. But I bet I bet he tastes guilt every time he sleeps. And good. You know, good. He was supposed to sit at that table too. They all had to pay for the man he became. This is a cautionary tale, a tragedy baked in delusion and vengeance. We remember Gail, Don, and Heather, not as ingredients but as people. Good, kind souls who never deserved to become victims of a delusion too rapt to see them. And to Simon, the man who once called Erin wife, may peace eventually find you. Grief does not answer for guilt. Thank you for watching The Alibi. If this story unsettled or intrigued you, like, subscribe, and let us know. Is evil born in silence or served in silence? Until next time, even the sweetest dish can mask a bitter heart.